or scenes and or points.
Lana ke bhaliwe ukuthi ama notes ke pointing out noma la ekukhonjwa khona ke indawo yesigameko noma ke indawo zesigameko noma ke ipoint noma ama point.
Just before you proceed, have you conducted pointings out before?
Yes.
Before this particular one?
Yes, my lord.
Bangasilona ke ihlandla lokuqala yile ke khona ke angake ngawenza ama pointing out.
How many more or less before this particular one?
My lord, I think it's about 4 before this one.
Ngathi ke ayo 4 ngaphambilini umeka ngaphambi kwayona lena ke pointing out engawenza.
Yes, you may proceed.
And then it says, describe the precise circumstances preceding the pointing out of a scene or point out.
Lana ke iyachaza ke noma ithi ke awuchazeke izimo ke ngaphambi kokuthi ke uhambe ke noma ke uyofinyelela kuyona ke le ndawo yesigameko noma ke i-pointing out leyo.
On 1, it says, who approached the officer to take charge of such pointing out?
Bese kunombuzo ke laphana ukuthi ubani ke ozeke kuyona ke officer noma ke iphoyisa lelo ke ukuthi libe yilona ke elihola leyo pointing out noma lokho khomba lokho.
I then wrote Lieutenant Colonel Gininda from Head Office Detective Services.
Ngase ngibhala ke ukuthi uyena uLieutenant Colonel Gininda obuya khona ke head office kwi service yabaphenyi noma yabaseshi.
The date, my lord, is 2020-0604, though I made a mistake on the form and wrote 0504.
I-date ke u-2020-0604 kodwa mina ngenza iphutha ke ngabhala 2020-0504.
The time was 1339.
Isikhathi ke u-1339.
And then on point 2, it says, how was the officer approached? And by telephone, personally or otherwise. I scratched personally and otherwise and left by telephone.
Bese kuba nombuzo ke ukuthi wasenziwa kanjani ke noma kwakhulunyiswana kanjani ke no-officer leyo ukuthi kwenze lokhu ngase ukuthi kwenziwa ngokuyena mathupha noma ngenye indlela ngazicima ngazicisha lezo imbili ngayisula kwatsala ke ngocingo.
And further, I wrote, can you please obtain a pointing out from an accused on my case?
Ngaqhubeka ke ngabhala ngafundeka ngalendlela ungasiza yini ngokuthi ke uthathe noma wenzeke khomba noma ke pointing out kumsolwa ecaleni lami.
On point 3, it says, what were the exact words of the member of the force when he approached the officer to take charge of such pointing out?
Umbuzo landelayo ukuthi athini ke amagama noma amazwi asetshenziswa yilona ke ilunga lelo uma ngabe liza kuwena ke noma licela i-officer ke ukuthi lihole leyo pointing out leyo.
The answer is, can you please obtain a pointing out on my case?
Impendulo ithi ke ungasiza yini ukuthi wenzeke i-pointing out ecaleni lami.
And it say, and then the performer says, read to the suspect at, and then I wrote Albertine SAPS on this day, 5th day of June 2020, and at office number 31 Albertine SAPS.
Bese kuthi ke okwafundelwa noma fundela umsolwa kwasekuchazwa ke kuma kwi-station samaphoyisa sase-Albertine ngalo suku lwesihlanu kuJune ngo-2020 ku-office number 31 kumaphoyisa noma i-police station yase-Albertine.
And then on name, I wrote Muzika Kulelwa Stemba Sibiya.
Igama asengibhala ke umuzika ukhulelwa Stemba Sibiya.
Place Nongoma in KwaZulu Natal.
Indawo Nongoma KwaZulu Natal.
What does that information represent, please?
The place represent where is he from.
Lena indawo ke ichaza la abuya khona ukuthi owakuphi nendawo.
And then on the space of sex, I wrote male.
Base ngibhala ke ukuthi umuntu wesilisa.
On the address, He could not give a specific address and mentioned that he uses Ngoza Primary School as his address because there are no physical addresses.
Ikheli ke wase banganako ke ukuthi anikeze ngekheli ekuyilona wase echaza ke ukuthi ke usebenzisa ke uNgoza Primary School.
On his age, he gave 34 years of age.
Iminyaka yakhe ke wasethi uneminyaka u34.
And then it continues, apparently in his sound and sober senses appear before me, Police Officer Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Bukeka ke umuntu ke osengqondweni ke ngokuphelele indlela ke angayo ngaphambi kwami iphoyisa uLieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Appointed as Justice of the Peace for the Republic of South Africa.
Nokuthi ke uqokuweke nanjengoko bakubiza ke ukuthi ke Justice of the Peace wayo ke iRepublic of South Africa.
The said person was brought by, I did not write anything, my lord, because there was a lot of heckling regarding that. I had to end up going to sign for the accused myself.
Lapha kubhaliwe ke ukuthi walethwa ubani angibhalanga lutho ke lapho ngoba ke kwakumusho nje eziningi mayelana nalokho kwadingeka ukuthi ngihambe ke ngiyomsayindela mina ke mathupha umsolwa.
Where did you sign him out?
I signed him out from the OB, which is an occurrence book.
La ngamsayindela khona ke incwadi esibiza ngokuthi ke iOB noma ke occurrence book,
which is kept in the SAPS cells at Albertine.
egcinwa ke kuma cells ke SAPS eAlbertine.
To the private office number 31 Albertine SAPS.
Ukuthi ke na ioffice ke eliprivate eli number 31 kumaphoyisa noma kwistation samaphoyisa eAlbertine.
At Albertine SAPS, only the interpreter, and I scratched it out, my lord, because there wasn't any interpreter.
Ibisechaza ke ukuthi ke kwistation samaphoyisa eAlbertine utolika kuphela lapho ke engakusulaka noma ke engaku cimake ngoba ke kwakungena interpreter eyayikhona noma utolika owayekhona.
Lieutenant Colonel, can you just maybe explain, after you made the entry in the occurrence book, what happened? You said you made an OB and also an entry in the cells. What happened thereafter?
I received him and I cuffed him and I took him to office number 31 Albertine at Albertine SAPS.
Ngamkhipha ke lapho ngifake ke ozambosi ngase ngimsake kwioffice ke eli number 31 khona lapho eAlbertine SAPS.
Yeah, and just before you proceed, you say there was heckling. That's why you ended up going to sign out the accused himself. What do you mean there was heckling?
That's correct, my lord. No one was prepared to sign for the suspect, hand him to me, for me to continue and then later on bring him back, fearing questions of escapes and all that.
Kwakungekho umuntu wayimiseleke ukuthi ke ahambe ke ayomkhipha abese yamsayindela ke amvethe kumina ukuthi ke mase ngiqedele ngiphinde ngimbuyiseke ngokwesabela ke ukuthi mhlambe kungenzeka ke bekhona ke ukubaleka.
There was a Sergeant Baloyi who was prepared to do that, but he was discouraged. Hence, I then decided to sign for the suspect myself.
Wayekhona ke uSergeant Baloyi owayemiseleke ukuthi angasiza ngakwenza ke lokho, kodwa ke base kwenzeka ke ukuthi nje angakwenzi noma angasaqhubeka ke yiloko ngathatha isinqumo sokuthi bese ngiyahamba ke ngiyomkhipha ngokwami.
But there in the cells, who pointed out the accused to you, or the person to you?
The accused was not pointed out to me. He was alone in that portion of the cells. As I walked in, there were people that were guarding him, which were members of EMPD, if I'm not.
Lapho ke akekho umuntu khomba yena-ke wathi uyena-ke lona kuleyo ngxenye leyo-ke ama-cells awayekona kwakuyena yedwa futhi-ke kunabantu-ke bebembhekile bemgadile-ke uma ngeziphutha-ke abe-EMPD.
Yes, you may proceed with the form.
I show him my appointment certificate and his reaction is I confirm.
Okay, so thanks. Ngase ngimkhombisayo-ke ngimtshengisayo-ke isitifiketi sami-ke somsebenzi wasethi-ke hayi-ke cha ngiyabona-ke noma ngiyasibona.
You say there was no use made of an interpreter. Can you explain to the court as to what was the reason?
The reason for not using an interpreter, my lord, is that Sibiya was speaking Zulu and I'm also Zulu.
Imbangela-ke yokuthi kwakungasetshenziswa-ke utolika ukuthi-ke uSibiya ukhuluma isiZulu nami-ke ngiwumZulu.
And can you just explain to the court how well conversant are you in isiZulu?
I am well conversant in isiZulu. I grew up in KZN in Newcastle.
IsiZulu ngiyasikhuluma-ke ngisikhuluma kahle futhi ngakhulela-ke KZN eNewcastle.
And I still have a lot of relatives that I visit almost twice or thrice a year in KZN.
Futhi-ke ngisenomndeni-ke engisahambayo-ke ngiyobabona mhlampe kabili noma kathathu-ke khona kabili noma kathathu ngonyaka e-KZN.
And isiZulu is my home language, and we were only allowed to speak isiZulu in my household. My father was very strict with it.
IsiZulu-ke ulimi lami-ke lasekhaya, ekhaya-ke nje ubaba-ke wayengakuvumi nje ukuthi sikhulume nje olimi kwakuyisiZulu kuphela.
So I'm well conversant with isiZulu.
Ngakho-ke isiZulu ngiyasikhuluma kahle futhi.
Thank you. May proceed.
On the following page, it says, the said was asked whether he was informed of the reason for his arrest as prescribed by Section 35 of Act 108 of 1996, which is the Constitution. So, and then my answer is, yes, I was informed. And then he further explained that he was in custody on a drug dealing charge.
Wase ebuzwa-ke ukuthi ingabe watshela yini ngembangela yokuboshwa kwakhe nanjengoba-ke umthethosisekelo-ke nomthethosihlomelo-ke u-35 wakhe-ke u-Act 108 ka-1996 usho uthi yebo ngatshelwa-ke wabese eseqhubeka futhi engitshela-ke ukuthi waboshelwani wathi-ke ngiboshele icala-ke ley'dakamizwa.
The said person is informed of his rights as prescribed by Section 35 of Act 108 of 1996. 1. The said person was informed of the right to remain silent. 2. He was informed that he has the right to remain silent and of the consequence if he does not remain silent. Number 3. He was also warned that he was not obliged to make any confession or admission that might later be used against him. Number 4, he was also informed that he has the right to consult with a legal representative of his choice, and if he cannot afford the services of such legal representative, a legal representative can be appointed by the state. Number 5, if he is a minor, he has a right to be supported by his next of kin, guardian, / legal representative or any other person of his choice before he makes any statement, confession, admission or pointing out. And then I asked, do you understand the warning I have given to you? The answer is yes, I understand.
Kwase kuthi-ke okulandelayo-ke wase echazelwa-ke namalungelo akhe-ke anawo-ke akhona-ke kuyena-ke u-section 35 Act 108 ka-1996. Okokuqala-ke ukuthi unelungelo lokuthi angathula angasho lutho, wase etshelwa-ke ukuthi unelungelo lokuthi angathula nokuthi futhi-ke imiphumela-ke ingaba yini uma ekhetha ukuthi angathuli, nokuthi-ke wase exwayiswa-ke ukuthi akaphoqelekile ukuthi avule isifuba noma avume, nokuthi-ke lokho kungathi-ke kusetshenziswe ngakuyena nanjengobufakazi. Wase exwayiswa futhi ukuthi unelungelo lokuthi-ke angakhulumisana nommeli oqokwe noma okhethwe uyena, nokuthi uma kuwukuthi-ke afinyelela ukuthi-ke amkhokheleke loyo mmeli noma ukuthi-ke akamafodi-ke unelungelo-ke lokuthi umbuso ungathi umkhokele noma-ke umkhethele ummeli, nokuthi uma kuwukuthi-ke uyingane esencane unelungelo lokuthi kube khona-ke umuntu wakibo noma-ke owomndeni, ummeli noma yimuphi omunye umuntu okhethwe uyena ngaphambilini kokuthi-ke enze istatimende leso, avume avule isifuba nokuthi ayokhomba. Ngase ngimbuza-ke ukuthi uyazizwisisa yini lezi xwayiso engikunikeza zona? Waphendula-ke wathi yebo, ngiyazwisisa.
Now, this law that you've quoted, Section 35 of Act 105 of 1996, which law is it? What is it commonly known as?
It's known as the rights of an accused person.
Lo mthetho-ke njengoba umthetho osihlomile-ke lona-ke u-35 ka-108 1996-ke umthetho owaziwa-ke noma omayela-ke namalungelo omuntu owumsolwa noma umuntu oboshiwe.
Yes, but where does
Which
it
is
derive?
entrenched in the Constitution of the Republic.
Okhona-ke kumthetho sisekelo-ke we-Republic.
Yes, thank you. You may proceed.
The said person is informed that he is in the presence of a justice of the
No,
peace.
Sorry, just before, just read the part. Do you understand the warning?
Okay, I then asked, do you understand the warning I have given to you? And the answer is yes, I understand.
Mbuza ukuthi isixwayiso noma izexwayiso lezi engikunikeza zona uyazizwisisa?